Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has approved the removal and replacement of some chief executive officers of agencies under the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. This was disclosed in a statement by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale on Wednesday night. It says the decision was in line with the president's determination to bring world-class standards to Nigerian civil aviation in consumer protection and the promotion of the well-being of Nigerian passengers and other sectoral stakeholders. The CEOs of the agencies include the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Kabir Yusuf Mohammed, who was removed from office and replaced with Mrs. Olubunmi Oluwaseun Kuku as the substantive Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Tayyip Adetunji Odunawo, was removed and replaced with Engineer Umar Ahmed Farouk. We'll take a short break. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Federal universities, polytechnics and colleges of education have been taken off from the Integrated Payment System, IPPIS. Minister of Education, Professor Tahi Maman, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondent alongside other ministers on the outcome of the FEC meeting, adding that it takes immediate effect. Uyi Agbomofuegbe has details.
The federal government in 2006 introduced the IPPIS as one of its reform initiatives for the effective storage of personal records, saying the move would improve transparency and accountability. The exemption approval reached during FEC's meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja comes as a relief to tertiary institutions across the country. According to the Minister of Education, FEC also observed that vice-chancellors of universities need not abandon their work to come to Abuja to process the salaries of their personnel.
A very happy day for the education sector because one of the problems which the vice-chancellors, rectors, and provosts of college of education, those managing the tertiary sector in Nigeria, have been complaining about have been the subscription to IPPS. You know what IPPS does? And which has made recruitment and many other activities of the university relating to personnel very, very difficult. Now today, today's council, it has been decided, the president has directed that vice chancellor should no longer or have been taken out of that service. So this is a very, very important development for the vice chancellor that will allow for efficient management of the universities and tertiary education, generally speaking. And then secondly, which is connected to that, before now, when the tertiary education institutions want to make recruitment, they have to run to the office of the head of service, you know, for waiver, for approval, for all that sort of thing. Today too, the council, through the directive of the president, has exempted them from that they will have nothing to do. They don't have to go to the office of the head of service because it is actually not in their line of supervision.
Earlier, President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Dr. Musa Aliyu as substantive chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, following his confirmation by the Senate. Others are Nantu Abdullahi, Shehu Aliyu, Rokayat Odekunle, Princess Sarah Shosho, and Dr. Festus Oyebade. The president personally administered the oath of office on the new appointees whose appointments were recently confirmed by the Senate in accordance with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
Many thanks, Uyi, for that update. The Nigerian Army says it has arrested the commander of the indigenous people of Biafra's armed affiliate, the Eastern Security Network, Uchechukwu Akpa, in Agu local government area of Enugu State. The military, in a release on Thursday, added that 3 other suspected members of IPOB ESN, who are Udoka Ude, Ikechukwu Lanta, and Ezenaya Udiegwere, were also arrested. According to the military, the 4 suspects were apprehended after their hideout located at Christ the King Catholic Church in Ameta, Mbowo of Agu local government area, where they were raided. He added that Akpa sustained a gunshot wound while attempting to flee, while 4 live cartridges were also recovered from the suspects. The federal government of Nigeria on Thursday says stemming the causes of gender-based violence requires citizens' participation at all levels. This was as it revealed ongoing plans with states to provide mobile courts for the swift administration of justice in GBV cases nationwide. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, disclosed this at the launch of the Civil Society Organization on Community Advancement and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative in Abuja on Thursday. She further emphasized that her call to every citizen to take up the battle against violence is due to the increase in cases of gender-based violence in our society. Acting Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has called for renewed unity for significant and accelerated development in the state as envisioned and pursued by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Ayedatiwa made the call in a statewide broadcast of the people to the people of the state on Thursday in Akure, the state's capital. The State House of Assembly on Wednesday pronounced Ayedatiwa as the acting governor of the state as Akeredolu continues to recuperate from illness. He says what happened in the past was a temporary delay in the democratic journey, urging members of the State Executive Council to come together and support him to deliver the dividends of democracy as trustees of the people with whom common humanity is shared. The acting governor appealed to the people of the state to continue to pray for Akeredolu's quick recovery. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede, has called for urgent and unconditional return of Nigerian stolen assets stashed in foreign countries, I beg your pardon. According to a statement posted on the Commission's X handle on Wednesday, Olukoyede made the call on Tuesday at the ongoing 10th session of the Conference of the State Parties to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption holding at the Georgia World Congress Center, Atlanta, in the United States of America. According to him, the return of stolen assets warehoused in foreign countries has become imperative for the growth of the economy and expansion of frontiers of development within and outside Nigeria. Rivers State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Professor Zaccheaus Andago has resigned. His resignation was communicated in a letter dated November 14, 2023 and addressed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. He noted that his exit from office was based on personal principles and not connected to the political crisis currently rocking the state. Global Television will keep tracking developments in Rivers State for your viewing pleasure. In the meantime, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, backed Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Edison Ehie, has declared vacant the seats of 27 lawmakers who defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Ehie had on Tuesday obtained a court order to carry out legislative business without interference by a rival group led by Martin Amaewhule. Buoyed by the court protection, Ehie's faction, which has only 4 members, met and declared the seats of the defected lawmakers vacant before receiving Governor Fubara, who presented 800 billion naira appropriation bill for the 2024 fiscal year. While the budget presentation was ongoing, the Rivers State government was demolishing the assembly complex, whose integrity, it said, was compromised during the explosion and fire incident which occurred at the complex in October during an attempt by some lawmakers to initiate impeachment proceedings against Governor Fubara. And Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has signed into law the 2024 appropriation bill of 800 billion naira. This is coming a day after he presented the budget estimates to the State House of Assembly led by Edison Ehie. The signing ceremony was held on Thursday in the conference room of the governor's office at the Government House. Fubara had, during his presentation to the Assembly, said the 800 billion budget for the 2024 fiscal year was aimed at promoting economic development through inclusive growth and addressing socio-economic inequality in the state. He added that from the 800 billion naira, 392,485,433,000 billion constitutes a recurrent expenditure of 361,598,242,570 naira 85 kobo and a capital expenditure of 410,266,485,099 naira 60 kobo. And the Kebbi State government on Wednesday distributed 26 operational vehicles to members of the state executive councils drawn from 21 local government areas of the state, distributing the vehicles to the commissioners in Benin Kebbi, the state capital. Governor Nasir Idris warned that any commissioner who sells or uses the vehicles for unofficial engagements will be sacked, saying the government is making history again because it is handing over 26 vehicles to commissioners to ease transportation challenges in their official engagements. They will also be useful for the commissioners to visit their localities to find out the challenges there. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Abubakar Garba, who spoke on behalf of his colleagues, assured the governor that the vehicles would be used strictly for the purpose they were meant for. The leadership of Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, has converged at the nation's capital, Abuja, to discuss ways of ending what it termed the anti-developmental trend of appointing caretaker committees and sole administrators to oversee the affairs of local governments in Nigeria by governors, in sharp contrast to conducting elections as provided for in the Constitution. The administrators unanimously agreed that governors must conduct elections for the growth of local government areas. Global Television's correspondent Anthony Mamadu tells us more.
Kolade Alabi noted that the only way citizens at the grassroots can benefit from good governance is to conduct consistent elections.
The resolution of European Union that countries should embrace decentralized policy, that is, proper devolution of power to the local authorities. Otherwise, the countries will not be able to access the 500 billion euros.
He made a strong case for adherence to the sections of the Constitution that specifically border on the conduct of elections to decide who steers the ship of leadership at local government level.
During our visit to the National Assembly, I reiterated the importance of Senate cooperation in achieving decentralization and total autonomy for local government administration. You will all agree with me that the downstream removal of subsidies and its ensuing consequences have undeniably caused hardship. However, we remain optimistic that these sacrifices will yield positive outcomes, as there are no gains without pains.
Local government administrators from Delta, Kogi, and other states lent their voices on the benefit of grassroots elections into local government positions.
The importance of democracy, or the definition of democracy, is government of the people, by the people. Therefore, it will be very wise and good if local government will always have a democratically elected representative. That will give way for maybe managing the local government resources effectively and efficiently. And equally, if you look at all this issue of security challenges, it will be very good if you have democratically elected people. They will take care of their people. But once local government is always under caretaker committee chairman, it's somebody that will be given 6 months, they don't have time to plan, talk less of executing it. So therefore, the importance of election in the local government is very, very important and is paramount.
The current move by the National Assembly to repeal the laws backing state government's interference in the administration of local government is, amongst other things, crucial and dicey. Anthony Mamodu reporting for Global TV News.
Federal government has charged stakeholders in export sector to move from exploitation to proper exportation. This is coming after identifying poor consumption as one of the utmost challenges being faced at the open market. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka-Anite, gave the charge at the Nigerian Trade Dialogue and the official launch of Trade Policy of Nigeria 2023 and 2027 in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere completes the report.
Infrastructure development is critical prelude to economic growth and development on a global scale. Most emerging economies with infrastructure deficits have a little chance of establishing a sustainable route to national growth as extracting foreign direct investment. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment says price of goods will continue to rise if exporter fails to bring back proceeds from exportation. She further reiterated federal government readiness to work with private sector, especially export stakeholders, to move the country forward.
There are lots of incentives that NUDC has for exporters who are bringing back their export proceeds. If you don't record your export, how do you get access to those incentives? On the other hand, we've also seen sharp practices from those who even record and over-record or over-declare what they export. That's also a crime. That's also
Stakeholders in the trade and investment highlight the importance of trade in Nigeria as a means of revenue generation as well as enhanced job creation, adding that the Trade Dialogue serves as a platform for public and private sector stakeholders to come together, exchange ideas, and forge partnerships that promote economic growth and development.
Can actually help Nigeria realize the economic, it says diversification, I would call it transformation, that every country needs in order to realize its full potential. In the case of Nigeria, it's very simple. It's about creating jobs for the 3 million plus youth, Nigerian youth who come of working age every year. And trade is key because Nigeria is not enabling environment for manufacturing businesses.
The high point of the event was the launch of Trade Policy of Nigeria 2023 to 2027. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment says the policy is to diversify the country's export base and to continue to liberalize the import trade, adding that it will encourage a higher level of domestic consumption of goods and a more efficient use of resources.
we have to have a strategy for our trade. We have to be deliberate in making sure that we promote positive trade practices, that we increase our balance of trade. This trade policy is a guideline for how we are going to operate that sector. Trade is the backbone of the country, and it's important there is a guideline to support this sort of criticality that the government is placing on trade.
Trade has always been a catalyst for growth and development. It is expected that dialogue will help in addressing challenges in the trade sector that hinders prosperity in the trading environment. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Chelsea and Arsenal have been dealt a major transfer blow as striker target Victor Osimhen is set to sign a new contract with Napoli. The Nigerian international has scored 6 goals in 11 Serie A games this season and is set to be rewarded for his good reform. Anthony Mamadou has details.
Hello sports fans, welcome to Sports News Updates. Chelsea and Arsenal have been dealt a major transfer blow as striker target Victor Osimhen is set to sign new contract with Napoli. The Nigerian international has scored 6 goals in 11 Serie A games this season and is set to be rewarded for his good form. At just 24 years of age, he is a key asset for Napoli after he proved to be critical in their title-winning season last campaign. Both Arsenal and Chelsea are reportedly in the market for a striker, especially Chelsea, who have been eyeing a January move for the player. Osimhen has scored an impressive 66 goals in 116 appearances for the Naples team after joining for a club record fee of £69.5 million from Lille in 2020. The Gunners have enjoyed a strong start to the season, but with Eddie Nketiah not a proven goal scorer in their side, Arteta could look for reinforcement within Arsenal's pacey and fluid attack. Osimhen could well prove to be the key to Arteta's side winning the league. Meanwhile, for Chelsea, who sit in the bottom half of the Premier League table, a player such as Osimhen could be critical for their revival. Their recent signing of Nicholas Jackson has proved to be an ill-fated experiment, with Christopher Nkunku returning soon for the Blues. However, Todd Boehly could wait before he splashes the cash on the Napoli striker. For much of the game, as Newcastle-led AC Milan, it seemed as if Eddie Howe's team was heading for the last 16 of the Champions League alongside European aristocracy like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and the new kings of the competition, Manchester City. But then, after Joelinton's sumptuous first-half strike, Milan rediscovered their poise, equalized through Christian Pulisic, and caught the winner through Samuel Chukwueze of Nigeria, and suddenly it did not matter what was happening in the match between Borussia Dortmund and PSG, and suddenly the widest dream seemed a little further away. Defeat meant
Many thanks, Anthony, for that update on sports. And that's it on Global News Cycle. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.